Hi guys, welcome back. This is a very curious speed test, not the exciting, because both of these brands are good, but they are not covering the mass market in the flagship space like you have in other manufacturers, Galaxy and other. This speed test is why curious because these phones share a lot of similarities. We will talk about that later. So before I'll tell you guys, there are two kinds of in a general way speed tests are being done. So number one category is that in case there are two manufacturers who share the same number of specs, so it makes sense to see the speed test, which phone is doing lot of tweakings on their custom ROM or which ROM is working faster. If you don't bother about the features, if these phones both have the same features also, definitely you can decide which phone you should go with. And the end of the category is in which you're doing a speed test between the same manufacturer and they share the same RAM but the different processor, A35 versus A21, just an example. So that makes sense whether you should upgrade to the new device based in terms of speed and performance. Now there are a lot of similarities between these two devices. I'll tell you what is that. Both phones are having the same processor, Snapdragon 835. They both share the same 4 gigabytes of RAM. These both phones are having sort of waterproofing, 54 versus 67. And another thing is that both phones share the same display resolution. Both phones are the 4K resolution phones. This is AMOLED versus LCD, so I guess that doesn't make sense. It's just viewing angles are different. And along with that, the biggest similarity is that this phone, the Google Pixel 2 XL, is 100% stock Android, while this phone, the Nokia 8, is a 99.9% stock Android. There is only one extra application which is called as a Nokia camera, because Google camera belongs to the Pixel and the Nexus phones. You cannot have it on other devices directly from the Google itself. That is why this is the only difference in terms of ROM. So that's why it is very curious to see really stock Android works same in all the manufacturer, or Google is doing something else in their Android, even though after they distribute it to other manufacturer. That is what we are going to find out. In case you really don't want to go with the Pixel brand, a Google brand phones, you wanted to have another stock Android phone, Nokia is offering great choice. This is again one of the fastest Android device. They are in the same Android Oreo 8.0. So with that being said, let's start our test with a real world time test. So how this thing is important for me and why this thing can be important for you. Say someday I'm using one device, for example, which has 8 gigabytes of RAM. Definitely should be working faster if the ROM is very perfect. And after 1 or 2 days, if I just move to another device, because I generally don't put SIM cards on all the devices, I just have one device which is primary. I'm using in pocket. I am not doing any editing on those phones. So I did felt that if I'm using any device which is very fast or great in terms of speed, multitasking, memory management, I'm gonna save a lot of time, because same video if I edit on this phone and same video if I use for importing, converting, for whatever task it is there, that device is taking extra bit of time. So because if you are doing same things each day, same kind of job, you can say, definitely you can get to know this thing. So in case you're doing the same thing with a better device in your hand, definitely you're going to save a lot of time. For my case, on an average, I can say that with a faster device I can save at least 30 to 40 minutes for me. So each seconds matter to me a lot. So definitely these things here. Now coming back to the screen on devices, since both devices are having stock, same processor, same RAM, so you're gonna see almost same time. And one thing I also want to show you, notice here, in case you're launching any game, you can see that on each game you need to swipe back the navigation keys, and this you have to minimize the game. So that thing is gonna take at least 1 second extra, so you guys have to give some fair judgment. You have to add some 10 seconds more in case of Pixel XL, because that's what we can see that. Otherwise here you can see Nokia 8 is about to complete the result, and we are here on the camera. Here it is, last application and completing them. So let's see, 2 minutes 59 seconds, and while the Pixel is still doing, and we are going to take a little bit more time there because of these extra steps in putting on the keys there. I'm just taking this fair judgment, guys. This is to be honest, some side effects are there with on-screen keys. 3 minutes 14 seconds, so you can just roughly take them on the near equal way. So next task is the real world performance test. So we are going to convert a 4K video clip to the 1080p 60 fps. I'm just taking in a original way. So you can see till now I have done the 4 speed test with the Pixel, and almost all the tests, even the device with the 8 or 6 or 4, Pixel always has loaded the clip first. So that is what we are going to find out here. Google has done something internal optimization. That is why same application with the same video file is working faster on the Google always. So that's great thing, something if they do the same kind of thing on all the applications. So this is a 1080p 60 fps clip. So from 4K to 1080p 60f, let's see how much time they're going to take it. I'm just going to make it quite faster way, because it's going to take near about a couple of minutes. So by looking here on the percentage, Pixel 2 XL is moving faster compared to on the Nokia 8. So let's see how much difference do you have. I will let you know exactly at the end of the conversion. So Pixel 2 is done with the conversion. Here it is, complete. Nokia 8 is still doing. I guess that's gonna take a little bit more, 20-30 seconds difference at all. So here it is, Nokia 8 done with that. So counting the complete difference, we have 34 seconds of different overall. So definitely Nokia 8 is not faster like in terms of conversion like you are there in the Pixel. Now this is your speed test in terms of app launching and resuming everything else. So we're just going to launch thing here. So small application guys, they don't make much difference because they need to connect to internet always, and I don't know, maybe these things happen each time. Sometimes same test is faster on the Nokia, sometimes on the Pixel or any of the devices, vice versa. But here you can say almost all of them are working fast in the same way. This is where you can see the difference, if there is any difference. So what I have seen personally, almost all of them are working in the same way. Max I can say 1 or 2 seconds difference sometimes, even though that is very rare. Almost all the times both devices are working pretty much near about identical. There's no difference at all, just adjusting the brightness. So next game is Subway Surfer. Again seems like also maybe due to a taller display, Pixel has some kind of issues. I'm not very confident in that fact, but still you can just take something like that. But both phones has shared the same Quad HD display, so you guys know that LCD versus AMOLED. You can just analyze the difference, how much difference do you have in case you're willing to go with the phone with the AMOLED versus LCD. Next here is the Tetragate 2, kind of very fast in both of them. Last game is the X Fold 8. Let's see, slightly faster seems like on the Nokia 8. So we're about to complete here too. So yeah, Nokia 8 got the first result. Anyway guys, this is you can see this kinds of animation delay happens in case of Pixel also. In both the devices I see that this things happens a lot, so do try to reboot your device each day. So on the resume you can see Nokia 8, even the background refresh everything got the same notification, but still on the new sync page, while Pixel was still doing those things. So I did felt that Chrome based applications are not working as great on this Pixel 2, especially even on all the tests I face the same problem. It's taking a lot of time, so I need to sometimes restart the test, because sometimes it took 2 to 3 minutes. Honestly guys, I cannot show you those facts, but sometimes it's taking a lot of time. So camera is definitely faster on the Pixel. Now here it is, the RAM management test part 1. We are going to do this thing twice. So you can see on the same place, Nokia 8 got synced, got a new notification, while Pixel has to do the refresh after you open the application. YouTube slightly faster on the Nokia 8, even though both are connected to the same internet, same router. Sometimes this happens for many minutes in some applications, so I need to just restart the test completely. That takes so much effort to create a single 2-minute clip, sometimes 20 minutes and more. I'm just saying here. So Instagram slightly faster on the Pixels 2. Now here is the thing, see which are the game on this memory. So no, both of the games are not in the memory, and maybe the smaller applications have been pushed, have thrown all things from the stack of the memory. About the next game, Subway Surfer, let's see. So none of them are having those things, which is something I really don't like. If the company can give extra 2 GB of RAM, so everything is going to be there in the memory, so that's more or less guaranteed. But still company just trying to give them with a 4 GB of RAM. I don't know what's bothering them to give extra amount of RAM, how much money they're going to take it. So that to get to, here it is. So that's surprising, all of the 4 none of them are having any application at the time. Last application to decide, let's see. Even I did felt that Nokia is doing slightly better sometime in terms of memory management, as you can see. We're gonna see this thing again also. So Pixel, no application, no games in the memory, while Nokia has only one, which both of them are kind of same, but still Nokia is doing slightly better here. I don't know why, what could be the reason. So here it is, some things, both of them same time. And YouTube faster on the Nokia 8, web page loading tests, and delayed on the Pixel 2 XL. Settings slightly faster, millisecond faster on the Pixel, so a bit of animations delay. Camera definitely fast on the Pixel, but not compared with other manufacturer, only faster in comparing to these 2 devices here. So now guys, a different way we are going to do some new RAM management tests. I'm going to close all the applications, just applications only, not the games, except games. So closing all the 7 applications that we have launched, 8 applications including Chrome. Now resuming the games, let's see. Nokia, why you did not kept that thing? Who was? Anyways, Pixel is doing slightly better here now. Resuming the same game again. Anyways, these things happen. This mysterious result. Next game is Subway Surfer. Let's talk about that here. Wow, both are them on their memory. That's great. Next game we have is the Pokemon Go. Yeah, so one thing we learned here that if you are closing, if you whatever application you're not using, if you're just going to close them, definitely you're gonna have a better memory management. So do keep this thing in mind. Do not just think like Android is going to make them sleep. No, just try to close unnecessary applications. Try to load only 4 to 5 things in the memory. That should be pretty much okay. So here is the benchmarking comparison. The old scores 165 versus 180. I never crossed 166 in my Pixels 2 XL. Just don't know why. Now trying to run it again. So while the meantime start the Geek benchmark test, I'm just adding a new clip here. So Geek benchmark test results. So let me show you guys before the quick old result. So it should be near to 6000 plus. That's the last score we got. 616K versus 6313. So anyway, starting our test here. So 3, 2, 1. Let's see. So 166K on the Pixel versus the, I believe, 179K, so nearer to the 180K. So that's great scores always coming in the Nokia. Not sure about the Pixel. And what about the key benchmark? We're about to complete results there. So score should be 6628, got slightly low compared to 6658, and Pixel got slightly improvement. So guys, there you have it. This is your speed test between the two closest stock Android phone. Now what is my take on those things? What is my suggestion to all of you? In case you are very heavy power user, I won't recommend you to go with any of them, stock Android one. Instead, go with any of the device which has a more amount of RAM, because definitely lot of RAM helps. But again, this also depends on how a company is optimizing the OS. One of the biggest example I'll tell you is I have done a speed test in past between the Android one, the Mi even, one of the lowest phone with the 4 GB RAM, with the Google Pixel XL. So what we have seen in that, the Mi even is doing better memory management and multitasking. It is keeping more amount of RAM up and this more amount of apps and games, the same application and games that we have seen. Yeah, I have to do a retest between this Mi even versus Pixel 2 XL. I'm just not getting time. So that's what we cannot really say that stock Androids are not optimized. They have to be done more optimization like the iOS are being done. So guys, with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy this speed test. Once again, this is Saurabh and I'll talk to you very soon. Have a great day.